should have encouraged the drinking people to come on. You guys, you good? How have you been today? How's things?
Yeah, we've been okay. We got up at 3 a.m.
Yeah, we've got quite a story, actually.
Go on.
Perfect.
Tell them. So,
go off. Tell us.
okay, so us three, minus Anna, we live in Wollongong, so we had to wake up at 3 a.m. to get here. So we got up 3 a.m., we were driving at 4 a.m. to pick up Scarlett, and we were just driving down the street and there was a woman in activewear and we're like, okay, 4 a.m. active, we love that, okay.
Morning walk.
Yeah, morning walk, we respect that. And then she started approaching the car, banging on the car, yelling at us. We were screaming, crying, throwing up.
Shitting ourselves.
But then we were fine. I said Jada locked the car, she locked the windows. But we were still fine.
You were safe.
We were safe. And then...
Yes.
We don't know.
So
there's like
a mystery.
some scary flats next door to my house.
What was she yelling at you?
She was like, fucking, you know, very like
Aggressive.
angry, very aggressive.
Let me win. She was what?
Possibly.
Yeah.
Sure.
Maybe.
Either way, it was scary. No. She wanted to kill us.
Yeah, no, yeah. We were the victims.
We went inside, and then we because she disappeared, so we're like, it's safe to go get Scarlett now.
Yeah.
And then we came back out, and she chased us to our car.
Yeah, she
and we
ran
had to
after
drive
us.
away.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
You said that you live in a rough community?
Oh, well, I live like in town, in Wollongong.
What does that mean?
It's like near the beach. It's very nice actually, but no, there's like a lot of like public housing around my house, which is so good. But then it's also like a bit scary at times. But you know, that's just because like fucking they got put there, you know, lots of different reasons.
No.
Shit.
I totally get it. It's the same all around the world.
Yeah,
Like, you
exactly.
tend to put people in public housing and then give them none of the support that they need in order
Exactly,
to actually know how to...
No, they're trapped. It's
Yeah,
fucked.
to know how to like manage life. Pay
Yeah.
the bills, look after their mental health, take the medication on time,
exactly.
see a support worker.
Yeah.
It was scary though.
Oh, don't get me
we were gonna
wrong.
be killed.
Two things can be true at the same time, right? Like those people need help
absolutely.
and it's fucking terrifying.
Yeah. We woke up though, which was good.
we're like,
we had that
whoa!
adrenaline and we're like, we're awake.
Like, do you need a coffee? No, I don't need a coffee.
Coffee. It was great. We drove all the way to Sydney with like an adrenaline rush. 20 k's over the limit, just zooming.
Yeah, heart racing.
Great.
Got some fines? Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Hey, so I was really interested going through your bio, and you say that you're just as concerned about issues facing today's women and young people as you are about music. And that really struck me as someone who's a bit of a nerd about social issues. I really wanted to talk through what is important to you guys, both personally or as a band. What do you think some of the key issues facing young women in particular are today?
Take it away.
Well, thank you. I think for me personally, like growing up drumming, I didn't really have very many female drummers that I could like look up to. So I feel like representation is like a big thing, and like lifting other women up. So there's just more representation in the music industry. Yeah.
No, I think that it's actually amazing the amount of like young girls and like non-males that come up to us after shows, and like even I had a girl recently just like find me and be like, I saw you guys play and now me and my 3 best friends have started a band and we're all girls and we never played our instruments before but we want to do it. And I was like, oh, my heart, because we never really had that apart from, you know, like L7 and like Hole and stuff, but that's all like, you know, a while ago.
I love that you love those bands.
I love those
L7. Hungry for Sting? What an album.
Yeah, so good. But yeah, I don't know. I think especially in like today's, like especially Australian, like Triple J based music industry, there's not that many, you know, like quick shout out to like the Boys and Void and Teenage Jones and stuff because they're absolutely killing it. But like we need more. And every time we play, then maybe another girl out there will be like, maybe we want to play as well. It's just, I don't know, empowerment.
Yeah, right. And I think you guys are stepping out. So, like, historically, female artists have had to look a certain way and perform based on, you know, their appearance as much as their music, if not more, right? Like that's part of the marketing package, right? Whereas you guys aren't as, I mean, I don't mean, now I feel really bad. I'm not saying that you're ugly. Like, what I'm saying is that you're about the music and you're about your expression rather than trying to sell your sexuality as a product.
Exactly.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, definitely.
Which is great, right? Because that, as you say, gives young women the permission to pursue who they are rather than who they think they need to be. Is that fair to say?
Definitely, yeah, it definitely is. I don't know. I think it's like, we've always kind of like been wanting to be known as like just a band, not like a girl band.
Yeah,
know?
nice.
Not associated with that, so it's like, yeah, really fun being able to like play live music and like people like enjoy our music, like not just like who we are. I don't know who we are as well, but yeah.
Yeah.
No, you want to be known for your art rather than your identity.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that fair to say?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't want somebody to come up to me after I feel like I've played a pretty awesome set and just say, oh my god, you guys are like my favorite girl band. You're pretty good for a girl band. And I'm like, cool, what are you trying to say? That's not a genre. Oh, that's so crazy. I didn't know that was a genre. I should look into it. No, like, I don't know, it's weird because on one hand we're kind of like, wow, great that they're recognizing that we need more female representation, but we're also like, what do you mean?
We're just a band.
We're just a band.
Just a band.
Just because we like to it.
I feel like putting more attention on it sometimes like is a step backwards because then it's like we just want to be recognized as like a good band that can play well, not just like pretty good. Yeah.
No, the amount of people that are like, has anyone ever told you, you sound exactly like Stonefield? And we're like, they're country. But they are all women, you're right, but we don't sound the same. It's so funny. I think people just don't know, like, how to kind of... Some people just don't know how to react. Like, I don't know, to us just actually doing it. Sorry, you go.
Sorry, the amount of times somebody has come up to me and said, oh my god, you sound just like Missy Higgins, Paramore, all these things. I'm like, is it just because, like, I'm a woman? Yeah.
But, you know.
And speaking more broadly, you know, you mentioned that you care about issues relating to young people. What do you think are some of the biggest challenges younger generations have these days? I'm including you guys, because you guys are significantly younger than I am.
I don't know, I guess like we grew up in Canberra where there wasn't a lot of like music for like underage kids. We like ended up having to like sneak into shows all the time because there was like nothing on. Yeah, all the time. Sorry, but yeah, there was nothing on, and I think it's like really important to like have it like all ages events and like get young people into music and like yeah, like especially I don't know, like schools should teach music more. It should be like bigger in the curriculum. Like I think it's like a really important art form that's like very underrated. Yeah.
There's kind of like a focus on here are the things you should study to get a job rather than here are the things that you could study to live the life you actually want to live, right?
Yeah, definitely. No, well, we were lucky enough to all go to a Steiner school. Which, do you know what that is?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, it was so good.
What for people who don't know? Talk about Steiner school, just real quick.
When people ask, I just never know how to define it.
There were like rainbows, felt.
They have alternative curriculum
Knitting,
where they don't put an emphasis on like mathematics and written stuff.
Exactly.
It's
like
they do a lot of
all-rounded
artistic
learning.
Yeah, so much music and art, which was great.
Did you all go to a Steiner school?
Yeah, we all went
to the same school.
So we've known each other since we were 8, which is so... well, I and Eve met in kindergarten, and then me and Jada met when we were 9. And then so... we just... It's been a long time.
Family.
And we don't hate each other yet.
I mean, we sometimes
we hate each other, but in a loving way, in a sibling way.
Sibling fight. You never hate your sibling. You're just like, oh, that bitch. You know.
What do you guys fight about?
Like the dumbest shit, like where the nearest petrol station is, or like whether we should go straight to the stage or like stay for an extra 5 minutes, just like dumb stuff.
Yeah, whether we should go now or in like 3 minutes.
But then we don't even fight, we just get like we just get really angry, and then 5 minutes later we're like, you guys want a drink? Yay!
God, it was so crazy when we were almost biting each other's heads off just now.
I know, us all turning 18, like peak second puberty time, trying to tour, it was grim.
It was awful.
We were like so fucking hormonal. It was so
glad
bad.
we got through that.
Because I know that women who live together, their periods can synchronize. Is that what you're talking about? Like, is that...
I think we were just
When everyone's hormonal?
we were just all very emotional, weren't we?
Yeah.
Right? Except for Jada.
Yeah, I don't get that emotional.
Jada feels nothing. Chill guy.
So you're the chill guy and everyone else is emotional, is that what you're saying?
I can get angry sometimes.
No, you
literally
don't get,
never
you just
seen
get like
angry.
sad.
Yeah, I start crying. I get a bit overwhelmed.
When Jade is angry, she says nothing. It's just like
She talks really quietly.
It's like a cold fury.
yeah.
No
So
offense.
what have you guys got coming up after UNIFY? I know you've got a really big show at the end of the year. I saw you on Instagram
We
talking about that.
do. We have a really big show at the
What
end of the
up?
year.
What's happening?
Oh, we're playing with the freaking Foo Fighters
Yeah.
at the end of the year. Amazing. Best day ever.
That was
So
the
giddy.
first concert I ever went to was the Foo
Really?
Fighters.
Where?
1995 in Auckland. I'm, like I said, I'm a lot older than you guys. But that was the first, it was Foo Fighters and Sonic Youth.
Wow. Holy shit.
Oh,
Yo, it was
boy.
sick. Yeah, I used to be super into that grunge scene. And that's why I was pumped that you talked about like L7 and Hole and
So
I
good.
love those bands.
I know. I feel like I started my grunge phase in year 8 and then it just never ended.
Yeah, what?
Except that I stopped wearing the Nirvana shirt every day. Which is probably good because it got so stinky.
It was pretty smelly. So you're obviously really excited about the Foo Fighters gig. How did
Oh, we're so keen. We're still like processing it, I think.
is music your full-time gig? Is this your full-time?
No. I wish. Is music our full time?
Oh no, I've got 2 jobs on the
You got 2 jobs and
Yeah.
music.
Yeah, music
yeah.
doesn't count as a job for us. Just
No, not quite yet.
it's alright.
Yeah, well, eventually, like if you're playing Foo Fighters and you're what? You guys are like 20 years
That's
old.
the
Like,
dream,
you're
surely.
crushing it. That's brilliant. That's great exposure for you guys.
Like, we're at the stage where like music pays for like our flights, accommodation, like, you know, all that jazz, like recording. Like we don't need to put any of our own money into it anymore, which is nice.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, we still have to work during the week. We'll do our fun little jobs.
Yeah, I was talking to a band backstage, and people forget that artists have jobs most of the time,
it's
right?
weird.
Like the
full on.
industry's changed. That if you, just because you're famous, it doesn't mean that you have a living.
Yeah.
Or well known, or whatever you want to call yourself.
I posted on my Instagram the other day that I was looking for work, and somebody replied to it being like, I don't understand, you're in Teen Jesus, why do you need a job? I'm like, oh honey.
We make money.
Oh, no, that's nice of you to say.
Well, did you get a job?
Yeah, I got a job.
Yes, that worked out. I love that. What was the job?
It's at a merch company.
Oh, perfect. So it aligns. You can make your own merch.
Oh, merch company.
Hey, we were talking before this started about, we mentioned politics and youth issues and stuff. And we were talking about, I guess, some of the way conversations around difficult issues go down online. What do you think about social media as a space to talk about serious things like feminism or racism or sexism? Like, is it constructive or destructive? Or is it up to us as users on how we choose to talk? I'm curious on fleshing that out a little bit.
I reckon it's constructive to some point. I think it gets to a point where you're just sharing with your followers and you're in just one big echo chamber and everyone's just like, I agree with that. And it's like 300 people being like, woo! And it goes nowhere. And then I also think there's another part of it where it's like performative activism.
Exactly.
And it's just like, so you're just gonna like share this post and then just like turn your phone off and go back to your life,
Like
you know?
that's enough.
Yeah. So I don't know, like I think it's like a good step somewhat, but then it just reaches a point where you're like, if you're not gonna do anything else, then why are you doing it? Yeah.
And definitely, like, people's hearts are in the right place trying to, spread the word and raise awareness. But, like, a lot of the time I think people just kind of see other people posting about, like, rallies and protests and even, like, International Women's Day and stuff. And are like, oh, fuck, I should post. Everyone else is posting. We were even talking about how, like, a lot of the guys that we know were posting about International Women's Day the other day. And, like, obviously they all mean so well, but, like, only posting about, like, their girlfriend and their mum. And it's like, you only see women as, like, maternal or sexual. And it's like, what about, like, all other women? I don't know. Like, I understand that it's, like, that,
Coming from a good place, but
Yeah.
also has, like, somewhat of an ulterior motive, maybe, like, subconsciously.
that's not even like their fault, like we were saying before.
Yeah, like I feel like
don't know.
people don't realise, like it does come from a good place.
I think that's really compassionate of you to acknowledge that, because if you were just like, fuck you, we're not just maternal or sexual, that doesn't help people change, right? So how do you bring people into like, oh, well, how do we talk about the gendered pay gap or the high rate of sexual violence that we have across the world, or I don't know, femicide in the third world? You know what I mean? Like, it takes, I think, questions more than pointing the finger. What do you think?
Exactly.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think that it's like super important to like provide people with the opportunity to grow and learn. Otherwise, like, you're not really making any good in the world, I guess. Like, you're just kind of like throwing them to the side, being like, all right, like, you're never going to learn. But if you give them the opportunity to grow, then they can spread the word as well.
Yeah, totally. It's like building allies.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And no one's ever gonna respond well if you get mad at them. Like, people are always gonna get defensive. So I think just being like, calmly, let me just tell you. And then they're like, oh, thank you.
Cheers.
I mean, hopefully they say that. A lot of them don't, but hey, we give it a good go, right?
Yeah. I think
Do our best.
I think change comes from like patient conversations. Like, none of us like being yelled at. Like you say, you get defensive, but take a few times around the wheel to really get an idea into your consciousness. So I really find that refreshing what you're saying. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think a lot of activism is quite performative. So I've never met you guys before, but it was really refreshing to hear you guys, you know, jump out with that before we started this conversation.
Yeah.
Hey, what's next for you guys? What time are you playing today? Like, where can people follow you? Where can people check you out?
Well, we're playing at 5:20 today, so that's time to eat some sago pudding, have a couple of cruises.
Maybe a little ciggy.
Oh, amazing.
That'd be great.
We're on Instagram. Please follow us on TikTok.
Please.
Please. The
follow us on
content
TikTok.
is so good, and no one knows about it.
No one knows. It's so good.
It's our best work.
We're trying so hard to keep up with the trends. It's just
Yeah,
like
hashtag trending. It's never trending.
It's exhausting.
it's so hard.
It's so hard.
It's alright.
And obviously you're playing with Foo Fighters in December. You got any shows coming up before then?
Yeah, so we've got the 2 other dates of our Miss Your Birthday headline tour, which is Canberra and Sydney. And then we've got like a few other tricks up our sleeve for the rest of the year, tour-wise, but nothing that we can discuss.
Oh, secrets.
Very secret.
I like it. You heard it here first.
Absolutely.
Hey, it's been a real pleasure talking with you. Thanks for taking time.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you so
I look forward to your set tonight.
Oh, thank you.
Peace, guys.